All right, boys. If you haven't entered for your chance to win the Civic, link is in the description. Stop sleeping. This ends December 1st. I know I made an update on merch, but I guess it's coming a little sooner. So get excited. We already have the Pleasure Evo stickers, and the rest of the stuff arrives shortly, so get stoked. Anyway, this thing's just posted up for here during the day. Next at Colorado, and speaking of Colorados, we got a Colorado video for you. Let's get into it. Got the John Dorleys, as Will will call them, Doug Thorleys, for the Colorado build. So, pipe. Now after owning 5.3 Colorado, I've discovered how this all works. So, the frames on the 5.3 Colorados are actually different. These are made to be slip fit, and you actually cut the old cats off of the original 5.3. I don't know how you mark them, but you cut them. Then you put these in place, you get rid of the cats, you get a better header, but you use a stock exhaust. I don't think we're gonna do that. We got the Doug Thorleys. These are a pretty important part of the swap, in my opinion. You saw what Rudnick dealt with his, hitting everything. This is annoying. So these we can't put on, I guess, so they're in the truck, so the engine's in the truck. It'll suck.
Oh, it's fun. The LT4 one was real fun.
These are way easier.
Yeah.
There's one.
Sick.
And one in the hardware. So we have two new coolant things. GM pilot bearing, GM manifold gaskets,
sick.
ARP manifold hardware, ARP motor mount bolt hardware, and then pressure plate bolt hardware. And oh wait, there's more. LS7 clutch kit. Look at that. With some kind of hardware here.
They appear to be the same.
Okay, cool.
There's just 3 of them per side versus 4.
So GM just showed up, gave us a brand new harness, brand new coil pack because ours got damaged, brand new spark plug wire. We got a brand new tensioner and idler. We got a brand new valve cover because ours was a little concerning. We didn't know what was wrong with it. Does that one have this?
Yes.
Okay. Some belts, and yeah, that's it. Ben did a little vapor blasting on it, or dry ice blasting. Cleaned it up as much as we could. It's getting ready to go in now. So Josh just put all those parts we just got from GM on. We'll place the engine in, tighten the motor mounts, then we'll do the trans, everything underneath, then we'll do the headers. I'm having a little trouble doing research. If anyone knows or has done this, hit me up. We are attempting to use the stock harness. We have 2 of them, just in case. We're using the E67 ECU. If this was an 09 and up or an 07 and up or something, this would be cake. It would bolt right in. You would need to change very little things. Because it's an 04, it actually uses like a totally different can system, and You can still do it, but there is some wires we need to change. I don't know exactly what they are. Waiting to hear what they are or what they would be, because I'd like to use a stock gas pedal and the E67. We will have to flash the E67 to think it's a 07 CTSV. It's the only manual Gen 4 vehicle with the same gauge system, so we want all our gauges to work. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Tomorrow our radiator shows up and our radiator hoses. So my goal is to get this in, get it as plumbed as we can, then tomorrow get the radiator and get all that in, and then the ECU stuff is just gonna have to wait. We just wanna get the engine good so that Ben can start fabricating the exhaust, because we are doing a full custom exhaust.
Oh God.
So we thought we had flywheel bolts and we do not. I just ordered a set. They'll be here tomorrow, but Josh jumped ahead and tried to put the power steering in. These are the factory lines from the 3.5 Colorado. Those are from the V8 with a built-in cooler, which I straightened out a little bit yesterday. The ends of this, you can get rid of this. The ends of this don't fit in our ZQ8 rack. So Josh cut them a little uneven.
Well, it's right before the bend.
And we're gonna have to graft them onto this. We'll vapor blast this, graft it on, and then we'll be able to use the factory
See
V8.
how annoying? You can't cut right at the bend.
Oh, that sucks. We'll use the factory V8 power steering line with the cooler, bolt in like factory, and that's the whole name of the game for this swap. Is gonna be as OEM as we can get it. I also discovered what we can do about the harness. We need to swap this body control plug onto the Colorado. The 04 is different. I can show you on these two ECUs because we have enough. You'll notice how wide these two posts are and how narrow these are. I don't know what all the other differences are. Obviously the pinout's different. So Josh is gonna have to repin all of this. What did you think? How many wires are there? 30?
It's like a jelly bean count.
If you're right, I'll give you $5.
27.
1,
Oh, way off.
3, 4, 5, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Choose! That was so close. Anyway, Josh has to repin 26 wires, and we have to get the pinouts. Now, get this. We have to get the pinouts from a 07 Cadillac CTSV, not an 09 Colorado. So he's gonna have to wire. We're gonna have to take the pins out of this and wire it into that connector as if it's an 07 Cadillac CTSV. That's the same tune we need to run on the truck, and if we do that, we'll be able to use all our factory stuff. The only thing I'm concerned about right now is AC. Might need a custom line or two, but we do have a bunch of AC lines, so we'll be able to figure that out. So I think we will be dropping the engine in soon, because everything we're waiting on can be done in the truck. And we can start plumbing, we can put the trans on. Oh no, we can't put the trans on until the flywheel's on. We can start plumbing, Ben can start figuring out what we need to do for the exhaust, and it's pretty important at this juncture. And there's our new coil pack, on and popping. We also need to take the fuel lines from the other truck, which we took out, and install them into this, because they are slightly different as well. So luckily we have the whole 09. That's the whole reason I wanted that. And maybe we'll be able to pull this off. Put in the comments right now if you think we can pull this off, or if we're just gonna fuck it up royally. And I guess I better say this now. I've had a lot of people reach out to me in the past like 2 years asking if we would swap their Colorado. Let's go to Josh for this one. We have not reversed this. Would you like to swap people's Colorados? No, we don't want to do this. I do this because I like it. It's a passion project. we don't want to do it for people. Mostly one, not talking shit, but I'm about to talk shit. All you motherfuckers with Colorados are poor. I'm not saying that like in a derogatory way. You just don't have money. That's why you're building a Colorado. That's why I built one. They're cheap to make fast. Look at Rudnick's. That's what most of the Colorados out there look like. 2? Well, that's really it. I don't need a 2. You guys don't have the money to do it to the level that we want to do it, and the time it's going to take us to do it. And actually 2 would be the supply chain for the wiring harness. We do not want to wire them ourselves. And current performance is like so backed up. I think they're 12 to 18 weeks out right now. Who the fuck? I don't even know I'll keep this truck that long. So, obviously, when they were less backed up, it made a lot more sense. You hit them up, they get you a wiring harness, everything's cool. But now, and that's the worst part, obviously. I think if we were to do like an 09 or a 10 with the correct exact engine with the OEM harness, it's almost a plug and play.
Well, like the LT4 one was my first ever.
That sucked.
Like my first ever LS assembly was Rudnick 6.0.
Right.
Which was fine.
Yeah, it was
still
cake.
a junkyard shitbox.
Right.
Like this is still a learning process for me. Like,
and you don't want us learning on your cars.
I'm
That's for
super
damn sure.
thankful that I don't know these that well. Like these cars are one thing, but like this shit, like it is simple and I get it, but like
you know what though? You know what makes it so not simple? It's simple at its core.
yeah.
And everyone goes into it being like, oh, LS is their Legos, but there's so many minute, tiny changes.
Like this shit.
Yeah.
Fucking connector.
Right, like the GTR, we know like 33, 32, we know the differences. There's like 2 with the wiring harness and with the connections and all that. But when it comes to these LSs, they made them since, I guess, 97, realistically, the Gen 3 started. So there's so many differences, and people will come to us and be like, I have this year Colorado with this engine, and we can't do the research. It's not worth it. So we don't want to swap your truck at all, ever, under any circumstances. It's time. Josh, guide him how to hold that hood up.
Just hold it straight up. It'll stop it.
Josh, you want to guide this thing? I don't know if we can get these under. Kick your side over towards me. All right, hold the engine. I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna go up with the hoist or the lift. Tell me when, just yell. Good? Hope this doesn't fall. Okay, so as you saw, the engine's basically in. Ben has to run away, and I think we're pretty good. Rock it. You want to put the hood prop? Oh, we can't. Go down more. Okay, so we're in ish. Now we just gotta get the mounts in, which means the back has to go back or down. I'll go down a little bit more and we'll just jiggle fuck it. So the engine's in. Josh had a little bit of a problem with this mount. They're a little like, I don't want to call them janky. They're just at like weird angles. They are kind of janky.
Yeah, I had to use like a clamp to squeeze and get it in, and it was a shit show. But thanks to Ben, yeah.
So we've got the engine in, which you guys have seen this all before. Now comes the fun part of trying to make it look like it belongs in here. Starting with everything. So tomorrow, hopefully early enough, the flywheel bolts come. I don't know when this video is going to go up. If it goes up tomorrow before that, oh well. But the flywheel bolts come in, and a couple other little things like I got a new map for it, OEM. We'll get the headers on. Once the flywheel's on, we'll be able to get the clutch and the trans, the drive shaft, the trans mount, and then we'll be able to get under the hood and really start going to town. Like get the headers on, which is my kind of #1 goal, so Ben can start fabricating the exhaust. And then we have a huge task of figuring out how to get that connector corrector.
I mean, that's fine. I took one apart earlier just to fuck with like a small one, and it's not that bad.
No, It's just I guess it's just gonna be hard to like. There's a lot. What do we count? 27 wires that went into it.
Luckily, it's an American connector,
26.
and it was designed by an American.
By an American
It's super
guy.
easy.
Some fucking Clyde
Yeah.
somewhere.
Dave.
Some Dave.
Some Jacob.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Jacob.
Jacob figured out the connector, so should be pretty easy. Anyway, I'm gonna end the video there. If you have an unfair chance when the Civic stops sleeping, and when the new radiator and all those other parts come, we're gonna keep grinding on this tomorrow. Bye.